Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the 1-day chart. We're sitting here just above 49 cents. It was a green day for XRP, but again, no real price movement. Yesterday, I talked about what was going on with ETH, and a lot of people pointed this out. So listen, I know we really wanted this to end well, but when I read this letter, it didn't give me peace at all. The SEC did not actually throw in the white towel here, and they also did not admit to Ethereum being a commodity and not a security. Now, I read this multiple times, and the SEC is not very clear at all. And, you know, their enforcer just left the SEC. I just talked about that a few days ago. Maybe that's why they're not pushing forward right now. Even Stuart Alderati said, a big win for consensus, though questions remain. Does this mean that the SEC thinks consensus offers and sales of ETH are not securities transaction, and or that ETH itself is not a security? What will Gensler say if asked now? What is the status of MetaMask and staking? This is no way for a government to regulate. I don't know if the SEC purposely left the door open for ETH to maybe end up in court at a future date. We really don't know. Other people are saying that they were clear on this, that there's no longer going to be litigation brought against Ethereum. This is something that we're going to have to watch over time. The problem I have with it is I thought Ethereum would definitely hit higher prices, so the market might not be buying this news quite yet. But you know, we speculate a lot in the crypto space, but I read that letter multiple times, and it is not clear either way. And that's the problem with the regulations inside the United States. It's the problem with all of these agencies. You know, they're never clear. There's never no path forward for crypto up until this point. We're still waiting for a clear path forward. SEC scrutiny of USDC could derail Circle IPO plan. Again, this could be a problem as well. The documents show that the SEC Division of Corporation Finance engaged in nearly a year-long correspondence with Circle. The commission requested Circle's disclosures about the risk of USDC being classified as a security and raised concerns about whether Circle should be considered an investment company and go through a different registration process. If USDC is deemed a security, Circle would face increased cost and regulatory requirements, as it would need to register USDC and potentially be subject to investment company regulations, Barron's noted. This could make it more expensive for Circle to operate. Plus, this could prevent certain types of businesses from being able to transact in USDC. This could possibly be a major black swan later. We have to wait and see where this goes as well. I was actually surprised by this that article. I thought Circle USDC had a clear path here in the United States, but it seems nothing is clear at this point. Both EU and UK are introducing crypto regulations as well. EU's MiCA will come into full force by the end of 2024. UK plans to introduce laws before Parliament by 2024 as well. Other countries are also pushing towards regulations, stablecoin regulations, crypto regulations. And a lot of people ask me, how do I know if Ripple is going to pass MiCA regulations? Well, Stuart Alderati sums it up right here. Take a listen.
Also established an office in Ireland last year. We have applications pending with the Central Bank of Ireland, both for a virtual asset service provider license and an e-money license. We'll work with the regulator and hopefully satisfy them that we are equipped from a regulatory and a compliance standpoint to operate under their supervision. And hopefully once we get that license, we'll be able to use that not only to operate in Ireland, but to passport that through the EU. We're doing the same in the UK. I don't think it was a few weeks ago, we received our major payments institution license from the Monetary Authority of Singapore. We're hopeful we'll get clearance in Dubai before the end of the year. We have an agreement with the Central Bank of Brazil to do business there. We operate under a regulatory supervision through a joint.
So it looks like Ripple is working with the regulators in all of these countries. That's how you know Ripple has a clear path forward, just not here in the United States yet. And, you know, they were compliant all along the way. But the good thing is, now if they pass MiCA regulations, if they get past that, Ripple's new stablecoin will also be MiCA regulated as well. That's a clear path forward for the US, because the US is going to have very similar regulations as you see with MiCA. And I'll talk more about that in another video. But that was all the way back in October of last year that Ripple was already going in that direction. Breaking, according to David Schwartz, it is very likely that Satoshi himself held very large amounts of XRP. This was said unprovoked under deposition. You know why? Because David is Satoshi. And of course, David holds large amounts of XRP. He just didn't say, hey, listen, guys, I'm Satoshi. I just don't understand why he doesn't do it already. BlackRock's head of digital assets, Robbie Mitchnick, says they put the digital asset space into 3 pillars. Now, I've been talking about BlackRock for quite a while. I'm talking ever since they got involved with crypto, and I kept pointing out back then, they are not here for Bitcoin. They don't care about Bitcoin. That's just a moneymaker for them, and it's a way to introduce people to crypto. That's what those ETFs are about. They're actually here for utility. Take a listen to this.
Robbie, maybe can you first kind of talk about like what you think about when you hear the word tokenization and what that means, and then also kind of discuss the shift in the financial system to being more open to tokenized markets and products?
Yeah, well, when we look at the digital asset space broadly, we put it into 3 pillars from a BlackRock perspective, which is crypto, stablecoins, and tokenization. We think all 3 of those are important. And when you look at what we've done, they kind of map across those 3. Tokenization is the longest time horizon to real adoption of the 3, for sure. And I think there's been some maybe overinflated expectations about how quickly or decisively this trend would play out. We're talking about a major transformation potentially of capital markets infrastructure that affects all types of entities across the value chain. That's not going to come easily or quickly, right? So we're starting to see some development that suggests that this is working, that there's client demand, that the utility of being able to hold a TradFi investment exposure in a digital asset wrapper is actually compelling to investors, certainly to some of our clients. But in hindsight, it was kind of always going to be the case, contrary to what some had thought, including myself originally, that before we would move trillions or tens of trillions in assets into this new technology paradigm, that actually first institutions were going to get comfortable with small exposures to crypto itself, understanding wallets and blockchain-based settlement and being comfortable with the risk controls and the infrastructure supporting that. So that's kind of what's happening. You're seeing more institutions get into crypto a little bit, and that I think is helping to pave the way one day for a broad-based transformation in tokenization.
You see what I was saying all along? The ETFs open the door. It allows people to start to understand crypto, but they're actually expecting these people to push into utility. Cryptocurrencies like XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR. That's why BlackRock is here. They know the big picture already. And, take notice to what he said. This isn't going to happen very fast. It's going to take time. Everybody wants to know when these cryptocurrencies are going to moon. Well, you got to wait for everything to come together. Once they figure out tokenization, then all of a sudden, things will start to accelerate very fast. Even custody, they're still figuring out custody. They're still figuring out cross-border payments. They're still putting rails in place to bank the unbanked. That's what's taken so long. So while you're sitting back waiting, you got to understand what you're holding. And you still have time to accumulate certain cryptocurrencies like XRP, XLM, XDC, etc. This way, as you keep building your portfolio up, you keep building up your bag, you will get financial freedom from what comes next. Mass adoption is going to happen in crypto, and you want to be holding when that happens. You don't want to have any regrets when that happens. Your chance to buy is now. If you don't buy now, you will regret it later. Ripple partner Tranglo highlights that the Bank of International Settlement, the BIS, acknowledged that the metaverse shows real potential for services in a domestic cross-border manner, such as e-commerce and payments. Metaverse industry 2024, $74.4 billion. 2030, $507.8 billion. And even the World Economic Forum said a proper market, a proper economy inside the metaverse won't happen until most likely after 2026. So you're still early on metaverse as well. If you're invested into cryptocurrencies that are tied to the metaverse, you're already invested in the metaverse. XRP is going to be tied in with the metaverse. Ripple went in the right direction, I think, by working with Futureverse. Same thing's happening with HBAR. Same thing's happening with XDC, XLM. All of these same utility-driven cryptocurrencies, they're so well-rounded. They're tied to every single industry where there's lots of money. Here is XRP price if Ripple stock hits $100 after IPO. Now, as long as you've been in this space, right? People have hyped up Ripple's IPO. Brad said it's not coming in 2024. He said most likely it'll happen sometime in 2025. And people still think it's going to happen this year. And then they said if one Ripple share was to hit $100, the price of XRP would easily be $300 plus, but nobody really knows where they got those figures. So for instance, Deaton predicts a valuation of $100 billion for Ripple after the IPO. This projected valuation would translate to $561 per share. If XRP rose at the same proportion as Ripple shares, its price would skyrocket to $6.56. So that's a big difference from what everybody else has been saying for months now. But I always said, I really don't care about IPOs. I don't care about ETFs. I care about XRP running on its utility, what it's built to do, work as a world's bridge currency. That's what I'm waiting to happen. That's what I want to see happen over time. And as that grows and builds out, that's how we will get to a 3-digit XRP and beyond. I just seen somebody earlier today calling for a $30,000 XRP. I don't see us getting to $30,000 unless you hold it long term. Short term, I think we're going to have a massive run up on XRP. Most likely we'll hit somewhere between $10 and $20. If utility starts to drive the price of XRP, I think we will go much higher. And I'm basing that off the Ripple case ending, the new stablecoin being announced and tokenization starting to pick up acceleration, because I think that is going to happen this year. I'm looking at Archax, how fast they're pushing ahead, not so much Blackrock. But I wanted to point out why Blackrock is in this space, because every single day I see people saying BlackRock only cares about Bitcoin. They're here for Bitcoin. They love those ETFs. All they are is a stepping stone that gets BlackRock and all of their customers to flood into utility. And we will see mass adoption happen over time because of that. But you know, right now, it's a green day for XRP, but no real price movement. And you are not too late to this cryptocurrency. But eventually, you will be too late. This is the time you continue to stack as much as you can before we really take off. And until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.